So who here is really sick to death of AI slop? I mean, look at this, and this. And how about this one? This one, right? When you go to the furry party in the Sierras and it all goes really, really wrong. So I put together a little analog manifesto. I got a lot to say about it, so let's get to it. So welcome back to Mojo Zoo. Back in the day, I was making a lot of money in stock photography. Adobe, Shutterstock. I was making. I mean, it wasn't a lot. I mean, it was maybe a couple house payments a year, but I mean, it was significant. I mean, it was enough money to miss. But as soon as image generating AI came out, I just saw my stock photography sales just plummet. I mean, just the bottom fell completely out. And I can't be the only one. I see a lot of people on Reddit complaining about it. I see them complaining on Threads and Tumblr and everywhere else. And the longer it went on, the worse and worse it got. For me, I mean, then these collections online on these stock outlets became, there's time you have to devote to manage it. It got to the point that if I sold one image off my online store at the cheapest price, I will have made 10 times more money the entire year than I would have with stock photography, which was thousands of dollars a year to less than a tank of gas. And these days, the AI companies, they call it generative AI. And I think that's the biggest bunch of bullshit ever. You and I know it's not generative AI. It's derivative AI. Yeah, it's not generative at all. It's absolutely derivative. Because all these companies, Meta, Google, Microsoft, they all they just comb the internet for images and books and whatever else, and they put it through these algorithms and they come up with other things. But it's all derived from our hard work, our photography, our writing, our illustration, our animation, our filmmaking, all of it. I mean, they're probably harvesting all of our presets and loop and everything. So it's not generative, it's derivative, and it's derivative off of our work. No one else's. If you take us, the artists, out of the loop, they've got nothing. Maybe they got math. I'll give them that. But without us, without artists, they have nothing. And they keep claiming that they've got something, and they're making billions of dollars off of it. How do we compete with that? It's a question for not just artists. It's a question for all industries. I mean, stock photography hasn't been a walk in the park either. Let's be fair. I mean, we've all heard stories of photographers that had a unique shot, a unique vista, and submitted it to a stock photography house. Maybe got paid 20 cents for somebody buying it. And that somebody turns around and produces hundreds of thousands of copies of it. I mean, I've seen several videos of with proof of photographers walking through stores, and they'll go by the home decor aisle, and there's their work on a big canvas. I mean, it's their exact work. And the corporation may be paid, 20 cents or $1 or however much to download the high-res image. The photographer gets, maybe a quarter, $1 if they're really lucky, and maybe if they blew somebody. The corporation didn't do all that work. They paid next to nothing to harvest this art and publish it everywhere. I mean, stock photography still wasn't, it was not exactly fair, but it did serve a purpose. And now we have stock photography houses being inundated with AI images, you know that, and so the cost to get these, to get your photo into the decor aisle is going to drop dramatically from their $30 or whatever they use to purchase the rights to the photo to next to nothing, because the people selling AI images are selling it for next to nothing. The cost of production is damn near zero. AI companies, they don't have to book a hotel at the Grand Canyon and travel to the Grand Canyon to in just the perfect season to hopefully get like fog rolling through the bottom of the canyon on the Colorado. No, they write somebody writes a prompt and up pops fog in the Grand Canyon, just like this. I mean, I still want to sell my work. I still want to see people look at a photo and say, wow, or smile, or maybe it pulls up some memory from their past, and has an emotional impact. I still want to do that, right? But you only get that through authenticity. You kind of don't get it through this. The power of art is a full throttle pursuit to push humanity forward. That's what art is. And again, the only thing the artist owes the world is authenticity. And you can't push humanity forward if you're not authentic. You just can't. So there's this guy, Walter Benjamin, had a lot to say about this. Now, let me quote. He wrote an essay, and it was titled "The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction." And he said, and I'm quoting, "Even the most perfect reproduction of a work of art is lacking in one element: its presence in time and space, its unique existence at a place where it happens to be. The presence of the original is the prerequisite to the concept of authenticity." The concept of authenticity. Now, Walter Benjamin, he had a shorter lifespan than usual. I mean, he wrote this while he was on the run from the Nazis, the OG Nazis. He understood that you can only the farther you separate artists from art, you lose the concept of authenticity. You lose humanity. And there's in the show notes, there's a link to that essay he had, so you can read it in its full context and make up your own mind. But the digital world was supposed to be salvation of artists. Oh my gosh, we can shoot digitally. Oh my gosh, we can use iPads and we can draw our illustrations or type up, and groups of people could type at the same time and create these stories. It was supposed to help. But every time a new technology comes around, the first group to get screwed are artists. They're the first. Remember how NFTs were supposed to really solidify and level the playing field for artists in terms of compensation? Remember that? How long did that last? That's gone. Anybody? Let's go back farther in time. How about Thomas Edison? Right? Stole countless works of motion pictures. And he claimed they were his. Just, he developed a technology and stole others' work without apology. He just did it. Or if you really want to harken back just a little bit ago to something that really screwed over artists, do y'all remember Napster? So my journey in photography started in 1980 with this little gem. I was taking a high school class of photography, knew I had to have a camera, so I worked 5 weeks at a barbecue pit in rural North Carolina to save up to buy this little baby. Oh God, I love it. It still works. I still shoot with it. And so, I got, into the whole digital thing. As soon as digital cameras got a decent enough megapixels, I moved into digital photography. I got an Olympus Cam Media camera. I got a Nikon Coolpix. Then I moved on to cell phone cameras when they became decent enough. But I was still missing a lot, I thought, from there's I don't care how sophisticated an iPhone is, it can't really replace this as a creative tool. It just can't. Like, I can create bokeh with this, and best I can do on an iPhone is click on the portrait thing, and it's really not bokeh, is it? No, it's not. I'm still not giving up my Z8. I'm still not giving up Adobe Creative Suite. Those are digital tools that I use, and it makes my workflow better, makes my images better, but they don't produce my images. I produce my images. They don't. I do. I find myself going back to film. I have a Nikon Z8, like I said, but I find myself going back to film. I recently got a Hasselblad 503 CX, amazing camera, and I keep finding myself, when I go out and taking photos, I'm using film cameras more than I am digital cameras. And I've become to feel that film, because of its non-digital nature, film is a symbol. And going back to Benjamin's work, I think film is a symbol of authenticity and anarchy. That you may post the image, but you still have the negative. You can still prove that you are the human creator of this image. My hope is fine art photography collectors will start to see images that was produced by film negatives as a higher quality image, because they know what they're collecting, what they're spending their money on, wasn't AI generated. It's not some AI slop, or it's not something that came out of a computer or somebody's prompt. And I think that is a feature. I think it's a selling feature for those of us that use photography as an art form. Borrowing from another technology term from a blockchain, the negative is our proof of work, right? We can prove that that's a human image. Now, yeah, you can take you can definitely take, print out an AI generated image and then then snap a picture of it. But once you look at the negative, you can easily tell it's just it's a photo. The negative is from somebody taking a photo of a photo. And that's not going to impress any collector. That's not going to impress anybody that collects art of any kind. It's just not. So anyway, I know this has been a long rant, and I didn't intend for it to be a long rant. But just remember, shooting on film is anarchy. Shooting on film is rebellion. Shooting on film is human. Glad that's off my chest. Mother